starting today's video without makeup on because I'm going to be doing a tag created by kristingehm, and the title is My Go-To Makeup Look. I'll link Kristin's video down below, but basically the premise is, what is your go-to makeup look? You aren't pressed for time, so this isn't a rushed makeup look. You just aren't feeling very creative. So the products I'm going to use today are just my go-to fall back on products that I know I can use and put together a really pretty look. What I already have on my face first is the Too Faced Primed and Poreless Pure. And this is their oil-free face primer. And on my lips, I have the Clarins Instant Light. For foundation, I'm going to be using Estée Lauder's Double Wear Light, and I'm in Intensity 1.0 is the color I use. I've applied the product to the center of my face, and I'm going to blend it out with the Sigma F80 Flat Top Kabuki. I have had this foundation, I think I got it last September in a little kit that I picked up from Lord & Taylor, and it had this foundation, the Double Wear Concealer, a face primer, a foundation brush, and a CD on how to apply it. And I actually really love this foundation. To me, it has a little bit more than light coverage. I think it's a strong medium coverage foundation, which is perfect for me for everyday use. And then it also has just phenomenal lasting ability. I love the coverage that the Double Wear Light gives, but I do still have a little bit of redness around my nose, and then I have a couple breakouts, so I'm going to use the Double Wear Concealer that came in that kit. This is a sample size, but this concealer is fabulous, so I'm just going to dot this over any blemishes, around any redness, and I'm also going to use this concealer under my eyes and buff it out with a brush. I've actually had a ton of breakouts recently around my eyebrows. I went and got my eyebrows threaded at the same place that I normally do, but it was a different lady, and she ended up taking, she went all the way up here and out here, removing hair, and my skin did not like that, so I have had to do some extra concealing around my eyebrows in the past week. To set the foundation and concealer, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Primed and Poreless powder. I'm going to take the powder underneath my eyes first, and for that I'm going to be using the Real Techniques setting brush, and this brush is just perfect and soft, just the right shape for getting it underneath my eyes, so I'm going to pat it under there first. For the rest of my face, I'm using the same powder, but I've moved on to a bigger brush. This one is from Too Faced, but I've had it for so long that I've worn off the name. Kind of go back and forth between using powder products and pencil products in my eyebrows, but today I just grabbed for the Jordana Fabubrow in the shade Taupe. So I'm just gonna really quickly run this through, not gonna be too precise with this today. Now that my face is done, I'm moving on to eyes. I already went ahead and primed my eyes with MAC's Paint Pot in Painterly. This is just a flesh tone, and it really helps neutralize any redness or veins and gives me just a blank canvas to work with. For eyeshadow, I'm using the Naked Basics palette. This was a gift, a Christmas gift from my sister's summer, and I have gotten a ton of use out of it. The first shade I'm taking is Naked 2, and I'm just going to take this all over my lid using a flat shader brush. Thought it might be a little helpful to be closer up while I do the eyes at least. So I have Naked 2 all over my lid and then just up a tiny bit in the crease. Next, I'm going to take this deeper brown called Faint, and I'm going to put that in the outer corner and in the crease. I have Faint on an oval blending brush from Sephora, and I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just putting that right in where my natural crease is, and then just gonna blend it lightly out. I'm taking more of that same Faint shade, and I'm just going to lightly rim my lower lash line with it. For highlighting my brows, I'm gonna use WOS, or Walk of Shame. Walk of Shame is perfect to me because it is basically my skin tone, so it is just a really natural highlight. For highlighting my inner corner, I'm going to use the shade Venus. Venus is the only shade in the Naked Basic palette that is not completely matte. It definitely has some shimmer, and it really catches the light. So when I'm doing this completely matte look, I love to really intensely highlight my inner corner with Venus. I just think it looks really nice, kind of blended into the more matte shades. So I like to bring it all around the tear duct and then kind of blend it into where I put Faint on the lower lash line, and then blend it up onto Naked 2 on the lid. So that's it for the eyeshadows. Such a simple look, but I love that this matte eye is appropriate for pretty much anything that's going on at work that day, and really highlighting my inner corner with the shimmery shade brightens up my eyes and makes my whole face look more awake. So all that's left to do is line my upper lash line, and for that I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Lacquer Liner in Blackest Black. I did wing out my liner because today is my day off and I'm meeting a girlfriend for lunch. For mascara, I went a little bit high maintenance with mascara. I first curled my lashes and then I applied a coat of the Lancome Seals Booster XL. This is a lash primer that I apply to my upper lashes, and it goes on white and it kind of just oomps up both the volume and length of my lashes. And I immediately applied a coat of Prestige My Blackest Lashes to my upper lashes. On my lower lashes, I used a little bit of Clinique's Bottom Lash Mascara, and this is such a neat product. Really like the effect it gives my lower lashes. Moving on to blush. It is still cold outside, so I'm trying to keep embracing my plum products before we move into the more peaches and pinks of spring. For blush today, I'm using the Lorac Pro Cheek Stain in Plum Passion. I'm going to be applying that with my Bobbi Brown blush brush. This blush is so pigmented, so all I really did was just tap in once, because this can look a little bit overboard if I get too much on my brush. Also, a reason that I love to use this blush is it does have a subtle shimmer in it that really helps act as both a blush and a highlight, so it's kind of a two-in-one product. To finish off the look, I used a really simple lip. This is Maybelline's A Plum Prospect from their Color Whisper line. I really like the Color Whisper line for just a wash of color and a lot of shine that they leave on the lips. This is my completed go-to makeup look. I hope you enjoyed seeing what products I like to reach for on a daily basis. I am going to go and do my hair now, and I will see you next time.